Okay, we're going to do some smoothing now, but it's 2 this time. Now 2 is an even number, and that's going to add a little extra complexity to what we're doing. Now, if I take these two values and do exactly what I was doing before with 3 mean, I'd end up with a value centered here, which doesn't correspond to an x value like it did before. So same thing as, and then I move it along I'll grab these two, and it's centered here. So it's always just centered a little bit off. What I really want is to then take the two values, the red value and the green value, and just average them out so that they were recentered here. So what we're then getting saying is like a value here, which corresponds to the two, so they can line up and I can plot them. So that's why you often hear like you have to do the red step, then the green step, and then the blue step. What I'm going to try and show you is that you can actually combine all that into one thing. So I'll do a little bit of the algebra to show you, and then I'll just give you the formula and show you how that works. So to average what's in the red loop, that's this red loop here, I'm going to call these values, let's give them some actual labels. That'll help. So this is A, B, and C. So what I have to do is say, get the average of the red, I have to go A plus B divided by 2. And for the green ones, I'd have to go, well, it's actually number B plus C divided by 2. All right? Are we with me so far? So then we have to say, well, actually, I need to average those two, which is the blue step. So I have to add those two up and divide by 2. Now, as you can see, this number 2 in the middle here is actually the B value, which is in this one and this one. So B is mentioned twice, but A and C are only mentioned once. So we could actually combine all this into one simple formula, which is A plus 2 lots of B plus C. And well, there's 4 numbers, aren't there? There's A, B, B again, and C. So that's 4 numbers and divide by 4. So if I just use that formula, A plus 2B plus C divided by 4, and just keep moving my ABC along, then I should make a lot more sense of how to do the smoothing and just do it all in one step. All right. So let's just delete all this stuff and just do that exactly as I described. Using that formula I got in red, I'm going to leave that up there. So this is my first A, B, C. So if I do that, I am saying 5 plus 2 times 2, which is 4, so that's 9, plus another 5, right? So that's 14 divided by 4, centered right here. So it's 14 divided by 4 is about 3, isn't it? There you go. Actually, no, it's not 3, it's 3.5, so that rounds off to 4. Gotta get my rounding right there. So that's 4. Now, I'm just going to move my A, B, and C along one. So this is A, and this is B, and this is C. So we're looking at these 3 numbers. Okay, so it's A, which is 2. 2 lots of 5, because it's 2 lots of B, remember? So that's 2 plus 10, which is 12, plus 3, which is 15. And if I move that along, I should definitely be getting about, 4, I think. We're going to get 4 again, aren't we? There you go, a bit closer to 4, rounds off a bit easier. All right, let's move across. Let's do another color. So our next 3 is A and B and C. And remember, we're doing this loop of the 3 A, B, C, but B is counted twice. So it's 5 plus 2 lots of B, which is 3. So it's 5 plus 3 times 2 is just 6. 5 plus 6 is 11, plus 1 is 12. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Exactly 3. That was a nice, easy one for a change. You can see why people do spreadsheets. It makes your life a lot easier. So then we're going to grab another group of 3, which is our A and our B and our C. So it's 1 lot of A, 3, 2 lots of B, which is 2. So 3 plus 2 is 5. 1 lot of C, which is 0. It's all centered here. And if we do all that correctly, we get about 1 there divided by 4. Let's grab another loop. And let's do this one. Let's go back to red. Grab these 3, we're centering here. So that's 1 plus 2 lots of 0, still 1, plus 2, that gives me 3. 3 divided by 3, that gives me 3 divided by 4, sorry. It gives me, well, it rounds off to 1 when you actually do the rounding. All right, 1, and then green again, and we're going to go one lot, this is our A, B, C, so it's 1 lot of 0, 2 lots of 2, and 1 lot of 3. So that's 7 divided by 4, which gives us roughly 2. And then we can do the last one. Let's just delete that and do our last one. You can see it's a bit of a pain. So that's our A, that's our B, that's our C. We grab these 3 and use our formula. 1 lot of A, 2 lots of 3 because it's B, and 1 lot of C, so that's 2 plus 6, which is 8, plus 1, which is 9. 9 divided by 4 is roughly 2 or something, so let's call it 2. And that's 2 mean smoothing using our lovely extraordinary formula at the top here. Probably should have done that in highlighter, not. Let's do highlighter. There we go. That's our formula. So just keep moving your A and your B along. Remember, just take that middle number and double it. So this is the graph of the 2 mean smoothing. You can see we don't have the troughs and the peaks so much, and you can also see we're shorter, very much like 3 mean smoothing. We lost 1 off each end, so it is a little bit shorter. You can see it's only from here to here. All right, so you might remember these from previous videos. This is our X, this is our Y, this is our 3, this is our 5. I've deleted the 7. I'm going to do straight into the 2. So we're going to click on cell E2 here and press equals. Now we're going to have to make our own formula a bit here. So after you press equals, do the brackets. Can you see the brackets here? And then touch on B1. And then you press 2 and times. Now you might be wondering what the hell's going on here. When I'm doing it on my keyboard, that's this star means times. You know, the X. It might look a bit more X-like when you actually type it using your keyboard rather than a computer keyboard, which I've been using. So you should end up with this so far. You're going to tap B3. So you've got B1 plus 2B2 plus B3. That's how you write it out. Don't forget to open your brackets and close your brackets. That's very important. And then we divide by 4. Now this kind of formula is very good because one day you actually are going to use Excel, I hope. So A plus 2B plus C over 4, that's what we've got here. That's our A plus 2B plus C. We put it all in brackets to say it's the top, the numerator, all of it, and then we said divide that all by 4. So that's exactly that formula written out as you would in an Excel spreadsheet. Good skill to learn. And remember, we lose one of the first data points and we're going to lose the last one exactly the same as we did with the 3 mean, which is here. So that's why we started in cell E2 that we're putting this formula. And as you can see, our first value is indeed 3.5, which I eventually rounded to the correct value of 4. You've done all the hard work, you know how the rest goes, so you just click that cell, drag it to there, and you've selected E2 to E8. And we're going to fill that range. Edit, fill range. And there are all our values exactly how we like them. They've gone to 1 decimal place because actually when you're dividing by 4, you get 1 decimal place. It hasn't been fixed. Now we're going to graph them all. So we've got the data, we've got the 3, the 5, and now the 2 there. So you can see we've actually got more data because 2 is the same as 3. So we've got to have a longer line than the 5. Okay, now again, we just click graph line and we want clustered. We've selected all that range here, which is B1 to E9 because we want to see all of them together in a big happy family. So if we look at this, the blue, that's the starting data. So that's just the raw data, as I like to call it. And then let's have a look. We've got I think the red is the 3. That's the 3. And then the pinky color is the 2 that we've just done, and the green is the 5. Now you can see that the pink one is only 2 smoothing. It's the same length as the 3. It is actually going above the red line and below the red line. If I just grab the highlighter and show you that. So you can see at this point and this point, and then again at this point, so you can see that the pink has actually gone more extreme. So it's less smooth. It's rougher, I guess.